Some of the biggest late model stars from all over the East Coast have converged on this one spot for their Super Bowl of racing, and Race Day is here with all the latest, live from Martinsville, Virginia. For the Winston Cup Tour, this is just one of the stops on their annual schedule, but for the late model ranks, it's the Taj Mahal. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat Patterson. Welcome to beautiful Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. This afternoon features one of the biggest gatherings of late model drivers in the country. It's the Miller Genuine Draft 300. Race time is just about an hour away, and Jason Young tells us how they'll line up following yesterday's qualifying in this week's Mopar Performance Report.
Over 115 cars went on the clock yesterday looking for a spot in the Miller Genuine Draft 300 here at the Martinsville Speedway. Only 20 were taken from the qualifying yesterday, and today there will be 3 50-lap qualifying races to set the field of 32. Some drivers found the Virginia short track a little difficult to negotiate. This is Dave Henderson out of Surfside Beach, South Carolina, slapping the wall in turn 3. Eddie Falk has the same problem, but he's able to keep his Pontiac out of the wall. Johnny Rumley was one of the fastest cars in practice, but a rocker arm had the Taco Bell team scrambling. They get everything right, and Rumley will start 14th. The Earnhardt boys are here, Kerry in the Western Steer number 8, and Dale Jr. in the Prime Sirloin number 3. But neither of them cracked the top 20. Now let's take a look at who was fast. Turning in the 5th best time is Philip Morris out of Ruckersville, Virginia. He's driving the Burger King Chevrolet. In the 4th starting spot is sometime Busch Grand National driver Nathan Butke in the Butke Dairy Pontiac. Rolling off 3rd will be Tony McGuire out of Roanoke, Virginia. He drives the WDBJ number 7 Chevrolet. Starting on the outside of row 1 will be Chester, Virginia's Shane Lockhart in the WKHK Pontiac. His time is a 21.32 with a speed of 88.79 miles per hour. But the man to beat yesterday was Ronnie Thomas in the RGM Erectors Dodge. The Christiansburg, Virginia driver turned in an incredible run of 21.27 seconds, along with a speed of 89 miles per hour. He'll lead the field to the green this afternoon. We do have one honorable mention. Elliott Sadler, driving the Slip-In Food Mart Chevy, has Race Day on his front spoiler. And even though he didn't make the top 20, we wanted to give him a mention. I'm Jason Young, reporting for Race Day.
And joining me now live is this afternoon's pole sitter in 1978 Rookie of the Year in the Winston Cup Series, Ronnie Thomas. And, buddy, this is it. I mean, when you put them all out here and run against these guys, you win the pole. You guys are doing something right.
Well, you've got 100 and some cars here, and it's the best drivers in the United States as far as the late models go. And real proud to sit on the pole today. Says something for my team, and I'm real proud of the guys, and appreciate all the sponsors helping me, so it went real well, Pat.
You got a 10-minute pit stop in the middle of the feature this afternoon, and you can get a couple tires and do a couple minor things, but you really got to have your car right to start. Do you feel like you're where you need to be setup-wise?
Well, like I said, we just built this car. Actually blew an engine Thursday night and had to rebuild it Friday, and we didn't get any testing Friday for everybody else, so we come down here Saturday, run a few laps, sat on the pole, went out yesterday evening, and we're fast for about 10 laps, and we start fading backwards, so we made shock change and some air pressure change, a little sway bar change now, and we'll hopefully we'll hit it right. If we did, we'll stay up front. We don't, we'll fade back. We're just going for broken. Second place pays $5,000. First pays $25,000.
Yeah, I know you're going for the big money. To get around this place, you got to do it with the car turning, not in a straight line. The corners here are so long, and you really got to have the car to work well down at the bottom of the racetrack.
Well, it's probably more important for us than, say, it would be for a Winston Cup or a Busch car. Now, they've got to handle good to win a race, but we're so far down on horsepower. When you've got less than 400 horsepower, you got a 3,100-pound car going around a track, you can't afford to forsake anything in the corners. You've got to have that thing hugging that yellow curb down there, and if you're getting in the corner good, you're getting off good, and you can hug that corner and the car stand under you, you're going to be tough today.
How have you managed to dodge all these Winston Cup owners that's looked for good drivers over the years? As much experience as you've had in heavy cars, and I know the people in Virginia would love to see you back in a Cup car again sometime.
Well, Pat, I blame myself a little bit. You know, if you're not in sight, you're not in mind. I haven't been spending enough time going around for a Busch ride or a Winston Cup. For one reason, because of the late model cars. Every weekend they're racing. We're on some track on Friday or Saturday night racing around the bull ring. So I've had an offer or two in Winston Cup, but Not anything that's really that good. I had an offer to me last year, and Darrell Walter sat right there on pit wall, and he said, I know you won't get in, but I don't feel like that you're going to better yourself in the car, because I think it had 5 different drivers in the car last year, and they didn't do anything, and a couple of them was real good drivers, so maybe I should have took it, but I feel like I don't need to get in a situation where we're getting something I can't make a decent showing at all in it.
Well, Clay Earls is going to have a beautiful crowd here. In fact, the crowd's bigger than it was for the Busch race last year. I know they're excited about it, and you got a lot of fans in this area.
A lot of fans. I tell you, it's North Carolina and Virginia area is big on the late models. It's really more people here than what I thought it would be. It goes to show you what kind of attention's getting pulled towards the late model drivers, late model car and stuff. And it's some drivers down here, Pat, I'm telling you, can get in a Winston Cup or a Busch car. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a handful of drivers down there. You can put in some of those upper classes racing and can make a good showing in those cars.
Real quick now, tire wear going to be a big factor today or not?
Probably not. Not so much tire wear. It's just when you come in at the halfway point, they're just going to be hot, slick, so you just be putting 2 new outsides on. That's all you're allowed to put on. Just going to make a car grip a little bit better, but tire wire's no problem.
Ronnie, it's great to see you, man. I wish you well this afternoon. We're going to come down there. I think they're going to give me the PA mic. We'll have some fun out here this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Pat. I hope I have a better seat than you do. I'll tell you after the race.
All right, Ronnie Thomas, good to see you. Good to have him back around. When we come back, look at the latest from the Winston Cup ranks. Don't go away. Lots more race day on the way.
Race Day is brought to you in part by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them. By Subaru. Test drive an all-weather, all-road, all-wheel drive Subaru today. By Jiffy Lube. If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube. And by Speed Stick. Like you, it never quits. By Minute.
Perfect weather in Martinsville, Virginia for racing. Welcome back, everybody. This weekend was supposed to feature a big NASCAR and SCCA event out on the West Coast, including the first ever appearance of the Super Trucks on the road course. But with the torrential rains and mudslides in Northern California, the events had to be canceled, so the Super Truck Winston West Trans Am road races scheduled for this weekend at Sears Point Raceway were canceled on Tuesday. They've been rescheduled for October 7th, and TNN will carry the Super Truck race as planned. Now, in other NASCAR news, there were a couple of big developments on the Winston Cup front this past week, and here's Mark Allen to catch us up to date.
Last June, Chuck Bound crashed at Pocono and has experienced vision problems that have kept him out of the car since the accident. His recovery has been slow, but we're happy to report that an intensive test in Bristol Tuesday went perfectly.
Well, we're going racing. I'm off the disabled list and back on the active list, and with Active Motorsports. Dean and I made a deal last night, Dean Myers, and we're going to be together for the rest of the 95 season, and we're excited about it. I'm excited about it and really looking forward to it, and we're going to get started at Darlington, and then we'll be here the week after that.
The other heartwarming development came in Darlington, where Ernie Irvin climbed in a Busch car and turned a number of very fast laps. He hasn't lost his touch or his sense of humor.
Everything was really exciting. You know, the whole morning, thing didn't blow up. It didn't hit nothing yet. And, usually them V6s blow up anyway. So Robert said I was going to be good for about 30 laps because he figured I'd be good for 15 on each motor. I got 2 of them left. So, so far, I think I got my 15 laps out of this one.
Irvin realizes his depth perception isn't what it should be with one eye, but this is a big hurdle on his miraculous road to recovery. Everyone is still cautious about when and if he might return. This is Mark Allen reporting for Race Day.
Now, there may not be a Winston Cup race this weekend, but you can always count on the Busch Grand National Division to pick up the slack. For the first time since 1989, the series returns to the Nashville Motor Speedway this afternoon, and TNN will have all the live coverage beginning at 2 o'clock Eastern. Now, in qualifying on Friday, Darrell Waltrip wheeled Terry Labonte's M&W Windows Chevy to the pole position with a speed of 106.83 miles per hour. Sitting beside him, Waltrip on the front row will be the Budget Gourmet Chevy of Jason Keller, who is just a tick off the pace. 2 Fords make up the second row. Kenny Wallace turned in a lap equal to Keller and will line up on the inside, and beside him will be Elton Sawyer. Now, one guy who has made a name for himself driving open-wheel cars is thinking about joining the stock car ranks and who's going to school down with Andy Hillenberg next week. Andy Mister, good to see you. And are you excited about getting out there and making a few laps in Hillenberg's school over at Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm very excited. You know, I heard a lot of good things about the stock car stuff, and just going down there to learn tomorrow in Charlotte to learn more about stock car and how it works.
You had a pretty good season last year with the USAC sprint cars, and I know that finishing first was what you wanted to do. Second's what you did. Nevertheless, you guys have been very successful in that. What is the lure of the Cup deal? Is it you need the money, or you just want to race some of the best guys in the world?
Well, I've always liked NASCAR Winston Cup cars and the Busch Car National cars, and both series are very competitive, and you know, they have a tremendous crowd following. Hopefully I can be part of it one day.
You see a lot of guys. You see the Jeff Gordons of the world and the Schraders and a lot of the guys that really came out of the sprint car ranks and have learned how to get it done in stock cars. Is that an encouraging thought to you? Is it something that makes you believe that you got a chance at it?
Yeah, it really is. You know, if they can come down here and do it, but the biggest key thing is the weight difference, getting used to the weight and the horsepower ratio. I have a lot to learn, and hopefully this Wednesday and Monday and Tuesday we can learn a lot then.
Well, Hillenberg certainly knows how to instruct people. He instructed himself to a big ARCA win down at Daytona this year and had a good run down there. You have an opportunity to learn a lot of things, but is there anything in particular that you're maybe a little apprehensive about going into this week?
Well, probably the biggest thing is the super speedway stuff. The biggest track I've been on is Phoenix, the 1 mile in Phoenix for the Copperwell Classic, and the track's so big, you just have to learn where to go and all the lines to take, but Andy's a really good race car driver, and hopefully I can learn from him.
What about the rest of the USAC season, or I should say the season to come, throughout the year? Are you going to do another sprint car deal again, or some Silver Crown, or what are you guys doing?
Well, right now we're going to run the full schedule of the USAC Midget Series along with the True Value Silver Crown Series and possibly a handful of sprint car races, but what we're really concentrating on is trying to put a program together to will allow me to run a couple, 4 or 5 Busch Grand National races later on in the year.
As far as team goes, will you try to own a car yourself, or do you think that's something that you'll try to work with somebody that's maybe already got a car put together and so forth?
Well, the biggest thing we're working on right now is just trying to raise sponsorship money to have the team, go the team as far as mechanical stuff and everything. I don't know too much about one of these, and I think it'd just be, not a complete waste of time, but it's better for me just to learn how to drive first because there's so many things to learn in the stock car stuff.
Have you ever seen one of these shows at Martinsville?
No, I've seen it on TV.
I'll tell you what, I'll buy the first hot dog, you get the drink, and we're going to see one whale of a show out here. Can you hang around and watch a race with us this afternoon?
Sure can.
Good. Glad you're with us this afternoon, and congratulations on the success last year. Look forward to talking to you some more.
Thank you for having me, Pat.
All right, Andy Michener. Stay right where you are, because there's lots more race day to come. But first, here's a look at the Speed Stick Fast Track Update, brought to you by Speed Stick. Like you, it never quits by minute. Welcome back live to Martinsville, everybody. The IMSA Series held the second of 2 endurance races yesterday, the 12 Hours of Sebring, but they did it without any factory Porsches. Porsche announced last week that it was withdrawing from all world sports car competition, including Le Mans. It already pulled out of the Rolex 24 at Daytona Beach in February, and although an independent Porsche still won that event, so the verdict, what was the verdict going to be, I should say, yesterday at Sebring? Well, a world sports car won for the first time in its existence after 2 rain delays. Andy Evans, Fermin Velez, and Eric Vanderpool gave Ferrari their first win at Sebring since Mario Andretti won in 1972. The team of Lammers, Bell, and Wallace finished second, and rounding out the world sports car sweep was the kudzu of Jim Downing, Pace, and Martinsville's own Butch Hamlet. The GT1 victory went to Steve Millen, Johnny O'Connell, and John Morton. That was 3 in a row for those guys. And how about my Tom Curran Motorsports team out of Orlando? We started 35th. We finished 32nd. Don't laugh. There were 70 cars in the field. We made a good effort out there this past weekend. We'll show you some more about it tonight. Now, while the IMSA Series was at Sebring, Florida, the NHRA was supposed to be in Gainesville this weekend, but for the second time this year, weather spoiled the party. They got some runs in on Friday, but the rain created problems for parking, so the event had to be postponed until March 31st. Now, one company that's a big sponsor in the NHRA started out 80 years ago with a $5 investment. Today, we all know it to be Western Auto, and it's well identified throughout all of racing. Mark Allen examines a marriage that seems to be made in heaven.
Time certainly flies when you're having fun and selling product. It's already been 4 years since Western Auto tied itself to NASCAR as the official parts and service store, and the 1,500-store chain is in its 4th season with Darrell Waltrip's Winston Cup team. This year, Al Hoffman acquired the distinctive corporate colors, and that was directly the result of the success discovered in the NASCAR program.
Since the day one that we got involved in it, our store sales in those markets, the sales increases exceeded increases in what I would call the non-NASCAR race markets.
When you're the size of a Western Auto, image, in addition to quality, is very important. So driver selection is something this multi-billion-dollar company has never taken lightly. Being outgoing and popular help, but what else is important in a driver?
We knew that Darrell was going to have a lot of charisma. We knew that Al would relate real well to the customers that were coming into our stores, and it's just one of those intuitive things that we look for. And besides that, they're great people. I mean, they're fine, upstanding citizens, and those are the issues that you really are concerned about.
And last year, Western Auto added event sponsorship to its motorsports plate with the NHRA Nationals event at Heartland Park, Topeka. That's a direction Leach is excited about pursuing further.
I am hopeful that we're going to be able to expand our involvement in NHRA racing in the future, because we think that this is really a point of action and interest of the customers that are in our stores, and we think that we should maybe involve ourselves even more.
Straight ahead on Race Day, more from beautiful Martinsville, Virginia. Stick around.
Race Day is brought to you in part by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
Springtime in Martinsville and great weather. It's going to be some kind of nice afternoon for late model racing. Welcome back to Martinsville, Virginia, everybody, where one of the biggest late model races of the year is just over a half hour away. Duragloss is one of the major sponsors of the race, and joining me now live is the president and CEO, Bill Bailey. And you guys have a fun job because you produce products to get these cars looking good, and I know you have a good time doing it.
We certainly do. We not only make them look good, but some drivers say it even makes them run faster.
Well, anything that makes them go faster, they're really interested in. You guys have done a lot of innovative things in your sponsorships, like giving Best Appearing Car awards out.
Yes, we've gotten quite involved with the Busch Series as well as the late model, and we present the Best Appearing Car award.
Tell me about the company. You guys have been around for a long time, and the product, I guess you can find at most of the auto parts stores around the country?
Yeah, most professional auto parts stores will carry Duragloss. We distribute throughout the U.S. and Canada. We've been around, this will become our 20th year. We started out with a couple of products. We now have 25 different products.
And we got a number up now if anybody's interested in being able to find out more information about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes the products are not easy to find because you do have to go into a professional auto parts store in order to find these.
Well, and this is pretty close to home for you guys. I know that Martinsville and the relationship you have here is something that goes back a ways. Where are you guys located? Just in Burlington?
We're in Burlington, North Carolina, right in the heart of race country.
Well, and you're sponsoring a car in the race, right?
That's correct.
Who's driving that car?
We've got a car that Heath Allison, and we've got another car that has our name on it that Jay Fogelman is driving.
You know, a lot of companies get involved in this stuff, Bill, and they wonder if it actually is doing something for their product. You're one of the guys that readily tells people that, yeah, it has certainly helped your marketability of the product.
Absolutely. If you just look out in the parking lot here and see all these beautiful cars, these race fans love to keep their cars looking good. And we think we've got the best products on the market. Nothing's easier, faster, and protects better. You got
a favorite out there other than your two cars? Obviously, you'd like to see one of them win, but anybody in particular you follow in the late model series?
Well, obviously, we're gonna pull for the cars with our name on it, hopefully. But I really wish all the drivers the best of luck, and hopefully it's a safe race.
Should be a great show out there, and we really appreciate you spending some time with us. And we're about ready to get it going here in a few minutes. They have 3 qualifying heats, so plenty to watch, and then, of course,
Absolutely.
the main event.
Let me thank Martinsville for allowing us to be a part of this. And once again, thank you very much.
Oh, we're glad to be here, Bill. Just hang around here. We'll go down and watch the race. And finally, we have a piece of news regarding this program. After the end of this month, there will be a new face sitting in this chair. Rick Benjamin will take over as the host of Race Day beginning April 2nd, and the show will be produced by our good buddies Jim Roller over at World Sports. In some other exciting news, you can now catch us every Friday night on the Family Channel with our new show, Racing Today, and every Sunday night with On Pit Road Final Edition live from 11 to midnight on Prime Network. So a lot of exciting new programs, and Rick and the guys are going to do a great job with Race Day in a couple of weeks. And, of course, we'll be back tonight at 7:30 Eastern to recap the weekend in racing. Until then, I'm Pat Patterson. To the folks here at Martinsville Speedway, we say thank you, and we'll see you back at 7:30. Enjoy your racing day here on TNN.
Communications provided by Racing Electronics. For a free catalog, call 1-800-272-7111. And by Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of NASCAR and major sponsor of the NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 1-800-800-1230.